Hello, my beautiful sunshines. Welcome to my channel where I share my experiences of my transformation journey into becoming the best and highest version of myself, as well as inspiring others to become the best and highest version of their selves. And I want to take time to really thank each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel and supported my channel to help it grow. I truly do appreciate all of you, as well as everyone who has left such an uplifting comment in the comment section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. So let's get into today's message, which is to live simple. It's a most complicated skill to live a simple life. It's not easy. It's easier to fill our lives with these big decisions that we make that we're unaware of the true cost of. I think there's a quote, I've heard it a couple of times, and it goes, life is quite simple, but we insist on making it complicated. And it's true. And we can handle some complications, but it's almost like when it becomes imbalanced that it becomes the problem. And so when I say the true cost of buying something, let's just look at how we end up complicating our lives. So let's take that we're starting out in life and we're getting our first car. We've got our job and we've got our money, and now we're able to purchase our first car. We don't want to have to walk to work or ride a bike to work or public transportation. We're ready to make the big girl purchase and buy our own car, or the big boy purchase and buy our own car or truck or whatever. And so we got the money and we decide that we're going to buy a $20,000 SUV. Okay, so initially it looks like that's the investment, right? So you've spent this much money on the car. But what you don't see is the overlong cost effect of buying this car. You are now going to have taxes on the car every single year. Some people have inspections. You're going to have regular oil changes and maintenance. You're going to have to buy new tires eventually. You're going to have to keep those rotated. You're going to, if your car needs tender loving care, you're going to have to replace things. You also have to buy gas and fuel to get it to go anywhere. You're going to have to maintain insurance on it to protect her. So there's a lot of things that are now going to happen in your life because you have decided to buy this vehicle. You're going to have to schedule time away from you to be able to tend to this vehicle. And so we do that with a car, and then we do that with a career, and then we get a spouse, we add to our plate. And now we have another person that we're living with that we're going to have to take into account how they feel about things, what their vision is, what their goals are, how they handle things, how responsible they are, etc., etc., etc. So then there is this mingling of people where things get complicated because you've got two different perspectives coming in at one. And then we make the decision for the baby, and you decide to have a child, and then there's long-term consequence, or not consequence, consequences, not choices, long-term consequences because of that. You will have to, enroll them in school, take them to the doctor. You will have to set aside money to feed the baby and clothe the baby, and whatever it may be. And so you agree that when you make this big decision that you're going to take on the cost of the baby to provide the food and then all of that, but as well as all of the energy requirements, that you're going to get up in the middle of the night, that you're going to be able to take the child to school when the child's ready for school at the school age. So it's these simple decisions that we make that end up complicating our lives because they grow just like a puppy. So then you get a puppy, right? And then so now you've got the car, the career, the marriage, the baby, and now the puppy. So now there's 5 things that have a life of their own that you're responsible for, that you're taking care of, that you're a part of. And so now these 5 things are just adding all of these other things for you to do in your life. Today you have to drop the kid off at school, go take the car for an oil change, and then go pick up the dog from the vet because your wife dropped or your husband dropped off the dog, and now you've got to go and pick the dog up. And so now you have all of these things coming into your daily life because of all of these decisions. And so it becomes very complicated because sometimes the puppy needs something, well, the child needs something, and then the car needs something, but then the job needs something, but then your spouse needs something all at the same time. And then you just have this big ball of mess. And so it's very simple to make things complicated, but it is very complicated to turn around and make things simple. And the reason I say that is because I've experienced it myself. We live in a complicated society. We live where all of these things have been built, and it's almost programmed into us that that's what we're supposed to have. And while they are good and we can all handle, we are meant to have some of these, and it's okay to have some of them. But how many of you have all 5 of them? How many of you have 10 more after that list of 5 that I just listed? I mean, we have like 20 things that we have to constantly take care of and constantly watch. May have a garden that we have to go take out. We may have stocks we have to watch, or portfolios, or money, or whatever. Like we have these things that we have to constantly watch, and then it takes all away from us. And so when we're called back to live simple, we're coming back to us. And we're balancing ourselves. Like, it's okay to have some of these things, but it's also okay to have time for ourselves, and that we can bring it back into us and focus on us. I like to say that some of us are living cheeseburger lives. If you think about it, instead of a salad life, okay, you're living a cheeseburger life instead of a salad life. Because okay, let's go back to our ancestors' days. Let's think that we're back in like the 1700s or something, and we want a cheeseburger. How much effort is going to have to go into what we have to, all the ingredients, all the preparation, even cooking this cheeseburger? I mean, we would have to get the wheat, we'd have to knead the bread to make the bun, then sprinkle the sesame seeds, and I mean, we'd have to grow a cow from grass, and we'd have to slaughter the cow, then we'd have to get the part to make the hamburger, we'd have to have a garden to grow the tomatoes, the lettuce, we'd have to pick them from the garden, bring them in, cut them up, we'd have to start the fire to even cook it. I mean, it would literally be an all day process just to get the one thing done. Or you could have a salad life where everything is already there for you. All your energy is picked. You just have to put it together and eat it. It's all together. The cheeseburger life is complicated, and it takes a lot of your time away because you're making all of these ingredients for one final project, and you can't focus on you. There's never a time where you're able to focus on you and not the cheeseburger, because it's such a complex life. Whereas your salad life is simple. It has a few ingredients. It has the ingredients to make a meal just like the cheeseburger, but it's not some complex way to get to them. You don't have to build the fire and have to pluck the garden and go and get the cow and, slaughter the cow and all of that. Like, there's so much energy into this one food object versus the other. And a salad is just, if you have the salad life, you are able to focus on you because the salad is already made for you. You put it together, eat it, and then you have time for other things throughout the day. It is not any preparation for it. It's a tiny amount of preparation. You get the energy within, and then you have time to focus on you and other things in life. You can focus on reading, you can focus on gardening, you can focus on knitting, you can focus on art, you can focus on writing a book. Lead that salad life that is not complicated. Don't be leading this cheeseburger life that is full of these ingredients that you don't even really need. They're not good for you. They're not helping you. You're not thriving with this cheeseburger life. You're going to thrive with this salad life because it's simple. And that's what God and the universe and source has created. Life is so simple. Yet again, we just insist on making it complicated. But it's truly a balance. So balance out your complications, allow yourself, because you don't want to go to the other extreme where you only focus on you and you're bored because you don't have anything to do, because that's a whole nother video of, you can get sadness, depression, and everything when you're bored. It's not to say that. It's a balance. Don't go in one way or the other. Stay balanced with it. so that you can live this simple life. You're not too simple, you're not too complicated. You just have the perfect mix. You mix it all together into that salad, and then you're able to thrive and and grow. So I enjoyed talking with you guys so much today. I love making these videos. I love connecting with you guys each and every day that I am able to provide a video. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you taking your time. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. I can't wait to see you lead your salad lives where you cut out all of the complex crap that you no longer need anymore, and that you give yourself time to focus on you. You give yourself time to find out who you are, what direction you want to go in, and what your purpose is in life, and how you can help others. As well as, because let me also say this real quick, the complications in life, the reason we have them is because of the joy. You know, if you achieve goals in your career, there's joy. Kids bring joy. Cars bring joy. You don't have to walk to work in the hot sun. You don't have to walk in the rain. You don't have to walk in the storms. You're not riding a bicycle dodging traffic. You have a car. There is joy brought from it. There's joy brought from a marriage and a baby and all of it. There's joy brought from all of it. So we do need those complications. I'm not trying to say a certain amount of complicated life is not good, but it's the extreme of the complicated life when you have the mega stack, double stack, triple stack hamburger. I don't even know. Do they make quadruple stacks these days? Probably. And it's having that kind of a lifestyle where it's just everything's complicated that it becomes distractions on us. And it's like, you know, you have the spouse that you're always having to tend to, you're having the kids. Okay, so now you have kids and you have football practice, dance, violin, you have to read them a bedtime story, you got to make sure they're in bed, get their pajamas, wash their clothes, get them food, clean up their toys, you know, whatever the case may be. It almost becomes a distraction when you've got 10 things that are complicating your life. And then when they all try to mingle and happen at the same time, it's causing disruption within you. And it's time to just calm all of that down. There's a choose you some things to in your life have a byproduct of joy, but it doesn't need to be your main focus, and it doesn't need to be a distraction to where you get away from you and what you truly want to do in life and why you are here and how you're going to help humanity. You can't help your spouse and you can't help your kids and you can't help your career if you can't help yourself first. If you're not filling your own cup of joy and happiness and love, you can't provide that to others. And so living that simple life and bringing the focus back on you for a couple hours during the day will make all the difference to help erase the complications that are physically manifested for you. So I know I've got off onto another tangent. I do that often, but it's hard for me not to, because I don't want anybody to sit here and think that anything I've mentioned in this video is a bad thing. Like, don't ever get married, don't have kids, don't do it, only focus on yourself. Well, you're going to find out that only focusing on yourself is not fulfilling. You want to have connection with others. Connection is important. It is a basic need. You cannot tipsy-turvy the scale either way, or, you know, you have to come into that balance. So I just wanted to reiterate that before I stopped my video. I love you, my beautiful people. Thank you again for joining me. I love talking to everyone, and I will see you guys on the next video. Mwah.